You don't belong in this industry anymore. Those were the last words Marcus Johnson heard before security escorted him out of the corporate headquarters where he had spent 15 loyal years. He didn't argue. He simply picked up the framed photo of his 8-year-old daughter Zoe, thanked the security guard for being kind, and walked into the pouring rain. Inside the building, people whispered that his career was over. What none of them knew was that the greatest chapter of his life was about to begin. Marcus had never expected life to become so quiet. 3 years earlier, he had lost his wife to a sudden illness. Overnight, he became both father and mother to little Zoe. Every morning started the same way. He braided Zoe's hair the best he could, burned the toast just a little, packed her lunch with handwritten notes that always ended with the same words, "I believe in you." Then he rushed to work at one of the biggest food companies in the city, where he managed regional bakery operations. Marcus wasn't loud. He wasn't political. He simply solved problems. He trained struggling employees, rescued failing stores, and stayed late without asking for praise. But while everyone admired his work, very few noticed something else. Every weekend, Marcus secretly volunteered at a small neighborhood bakery owned by an elderly baker named Mrs. Evelyn Carter. She had taught him the art of real bread, made with patience instead of shortcuts. Those weekends never felt like work. They felt like home. The company's new CEO saw things differently. Nathan Cole believed experience was old-fashioned. He wanted younger executives. Foster profits, cheaper ingredients. During meetings, Marcus quietly warned that customers would notice declining quality. Nathan laughed. "We're selling convenience, not memories." Everyone else nodded. Marcus stayed silent. Weeks later, several managers blamed Marcus for falling sales. Nathan didn't ask questions. He simply needed someone to blame. "You've become resistant to change," Nathan said coldly. "I've become loyal to customers." Nathan smiled. Same thing. The termination papers were already waiting. Marcus signed without complaint. One coworker whispered as he left, "He's finished." Finding another executive job wasn't easy. Every interview ended with polite rejection. Bills piled up. Savings disappeared. Marcus sold his expensive watch, then his second car. Still, every night he smiled for Zoe. "We're okay." She believed him. One afternoon, Mrs. Evelyn called. "I have something to show you." She stood in front of a weathered brick building. Its windows were dusty. The sign hung crooked. The bakery had been closed for years. "I can't keep it anymore," she said softly. "I want someone who loves people more than profits." Marcus laughed. "I can't even afford groceries." Mrs. Evelyn smiled. "Sometimes people invest in hearts before money." She offered owner financing, tiny monthly payments, a chance instead of charity. Marcus accepted. Everyone thought he was making a terrible mistake. An old bakery in a forgotten neighborhood? Who would come? Marcus had only one answer. People who miss being treated like family. The first months were brutal. Marcus mixed dough before sunrise, served customers all day, cleaned ovens late into the night. Zoe sat in the corner doing homework while the smell of fresh cinnamon rolls filled the room. Slowly, something changed. Customers returned. Then they brought neighbors. Photos spread online, not because the bakery was fancy, but because everyone said the same thing. "It feels like home." Marcus remembered birthdays. He gave free bread to struggling families. No child ever left hungry. Business kept growing. Then one morning, a luxury SUV stopped outside. Several executives stepped out. Behind them walked Nathan Cole. Marcus recognized him immediately. Nathan didn't recognize Marcus. He was there for another reason. The bakery had gone viral. Nathan's corporation wanted to buy it and turn it into a national franchise. Nathan smiled confidently. "We're prepared to make the owner a generous offer." Marcus removed his apron. "I'm the owner." Nathan froze. For several long seconds, neither man spoke. Nathan's confident smile disappeared. "You?" Marcus nodded calmly. "This little bakery?" Marcus simply gestured toward the crowded room. Families laughed together. Fresh bread came out of the ovens. Employees greeted customers by name. Nathan looked around in disbelief. He noticed something familiar. The recipes, the displays, even the customer experience. It resembled every improvement Marcus had once proposed during corporate meetings. Ideas Nathan had dismissed. "You actually built this?" Nathan whispered. "No," Marcus answered gently. "We built this." He pointed toward Zoe serving cookies, Mrs. Evelyn talking with regular customers, young employees learning skills they had never been given elsewhere. Nathan finally understood. The numbers he had chased could never replace trust. "I'd still like to buy your bakery." Marcus smiled politely. I appreciate the offer. Nathan named an enormous price. Marcus looked around once more. This place isn't for sale. Nathan lowered his voice. I made a mistake. Marcus nodded. We all do. There was no anger, no revenge, only peace. Nathan quietly left the bakery for the first time in years. He looked like a man who had learned something money couldn't teach. Months later, Marcus opened a second bakery, then a third. Each one hired single parents, older workers overlooked by other companies, and young people looking for a fresh start. Mrs. Evelyn became honorary head baker. Zoe proudly welcomed customers after school. Marcus never mentioned the day he was fired. He didn't need to. His success spoke louder than any argument ever could. Meanwhile, Nathan's company struggled with declining customer trust. Board members eventually replaced him with someone who valued both people and quality. Marcus never celebrated Nathan's downfall. He simply kept baking bread and building hope. Sometimes the strongest answer to rejection isn't proving someone wrong. It's quietly becoming everything they said you could never be. Have you ever been underestimated by someone who didn't see your true worth? Share your story in the comments. We'd love to read it.